What is your name?
My name is Kelsey Ledger.
How old are you? What year are you in school, and where do you go to school?
I am 19 and I am a freshman at Appalachian State University.
Do you have siblings?
I do.
How many siblings do you have?
I have 2 younger brothers.
So you're the oldest.
Yes.
What is the age difference between you and your closest sibling?
About 4 years.
And you've already stated that they are younger than you.
Yes.
Describe your relationship between you and your brother growing up.
Well, the older of my 2 brothers, he and I are like best friends, always have been. My younger brother and I do not get along to save our lives.
What was the relationship between you and your brothers like after you left for college?
My relationship with my elder brother, is still pretty strong. We don't talk as much anymore, but when we go home, it's like nothing ever changed. And with my youngest brother, it just kept getting more and more strained. I haven't seen him in months.
So in your opinion, has your relationship with either of your brothers changed significantly?
Yes, I would definitely say so.
And you've already stated because your relationship with your younger brother is just not a very good one.
Yes.
Describe one time your sibling really upset you.
My youngest brother is adopted and didn't come from, the best of backgrounds. And so he didn't really understand boundaries when we lived together. And he used to just go through my things. And there was one specific incident where he went through, something that was very personal to me, and that just really upset me.
Can you describe one time when one of your siblings really angered you?
My youngest brother, again, he told my mom basically that it was her fault for ruining his life because she adopted him, and that really angered me because for years my mom has done everything to help him.
Can you describe a time when one of your siblings has made you feel the most loved?
It's pretty cool. The elder of my 2 brothers and I were in the same theater company in high school, and before each show, the entire cast would get together and we'd have a circle where everyone would get to share, how any thoughts or feelings they had about the show. My brother, shouted me out and thanked me for getting him involved, and getting to see him go through this theater company now it just means the world to me.
Describe, or if you could change one thing about either of your siblings, what would it be?
I guess it would just be to let them, I would change how they feel about my parents, because the way that you feel about your parents when you leave home is really different. And I just wish that, I could give them that ability to see my parents now the way that I see them having moved out.
What is your favorite thing about your siblings?
My favorite thing about my siblings, even on days when I want to kill them, they are hysterical. Whether they try to or not, they always have a way of making me laugh.
Why do you think they're able to always make you laugh?
I think that your relationship with your siblings is just such a close one that the inside jokes that you form are just unbeatable. And it can be absolutely hysterical at times.
Did you ever wish growing up that you were an only child?
Oh, yes. Yes, I spent most of my childhood wishing I was an only child. Because I was for 4 years, and it was great, but I wouldn't trade my siblings for the world.
So now you are glad that you didn't grow up as an only child?
Yeah, I'm very glad.
Would you like to say anything else about your relationship with your siblings and how you coming off to college and them still being at home has shaped or changed the way you view them or your relationship with yourself?
I think the big thing is that when you leave for college, you forget what it was like to be in their shoes and what it was like to be, their age and still living at home, because the way that you view home is so different. And you almost want to show them how special it is still getting to live at home, because there are days when you really just want to curl up on the couch with your mom. And I just want them to know and cherish those moments while they still can.
What do you think your parents think about your relationship with your siblings, and how they've perceived how your relationship before college is different than your relationship now?
I definitely think, my parents have always been really astounded by the amazing relationship I have with the eldest of my two younger brothers. However, we're in a strange situation right now with my youngest brother, where I'm not really supposed to be in contact with him just because of some things that have happened with him being from the foster system. So that relationship has almost completely disconnected, which has been interesting, definitely.
This video is supposed to be 10 minutes long and we're not even at 6.
Oh, do you need me to keep saying things?
You can just keep talking. I mean, it's just raw footage for now.
Okay.
Do you have any particular funny or weird stories that involved you and your siblings growing up?
Okay. Gosh. Okay. So, funny enough, before I left for college, when we first adopted my youngest sibling, he would come over. When he was still like our foster sibling, he would come over for what they called dates, where his current foster family would come drop him off, and he'd get to stay, for the weekend, just to kind of give us a taste of what it's like to live together. So he was over for one of these date weekends, and I remember we went to the beach, and it was the spooky house made out of this old barn's wood, and it, definitely haunted. And he was sleeping in the attic, and there were like 10 beds up there, but he was the only one staying up there. And I just remember it was 2 a.m, and I heard a noise, so I creeped up there, and he's just like lying there, and then just sits upright and looks me in the eyes, like eyes wide, and that was the most terrifying moment of my life. But it's funny now, at least. Yeah.
What do you think your younger siblings think of you?
Sometimes that scares me a lot because I know that they think of me as lazy. I know that for a fact. They tell me all the time. And they think of me not as a role model, more as kind of like an idea of what not to be. I guess it sounds bad, but like if someone's gonna upset mom, it's me. And so they've watched me upset mom like my whole life, so now they know what not to do if they don't want to upset her.
Did you have friends growing up that were only children that wished they had your siblings?
Oh, all the time. I had so many friends, especially the eldest of my 2 younger siblings, because I grew up with him more. I had friends who just absolutely adored him. Like my friends would come over and they'd want to play with Finley. It was all about Finley. I was like, oh, okay, cool. They'd like dress him up and put wigs on him.
I bet he enjoyed that.
Oh, if I bring it up in front of him now, he throws a tantrum. It's great.
Any other stories?
Oh gosh. Okay, so when Finley was a baby, this was like one of my earliest memories. He was literally just a newborn baby, and my dad was carrying him down the stairs, and he was wearing slippers. And I was sitting in my room, on the floor playing Barbies or whatever, and I just hear this giant thud. And I come out of my room, and I'm like, what just happened? Well, my dad, because he was wearing slippers on the stairs, slipped, and his first response was to throw my brother. So he threw my brother forward, and when he landed at the bottom of the stairs, he landed on top of my brother's leg. And so my little 6-month-old brother was in a full body cast for months. And I remember that was just really awkward but funny for everyone involved because, he's like this little 6 years old made out of like plaster at this point. It's funny now, wasn't at the time.
I bet your dad felt awful.
Oh, he did. He definitely beat himself. My mom still gives him crap for it today, and it's been like 15 years.
Thank you for your participation.
You're very welcome, person I've never met before. There's a ladybug in here.